What is going on, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood black man Scott, back with another video. And as you can see from the title, today is going to be a little cheeky discussion video. Just, I want to get feedback from you in the comments and what I'm saying, because I'm definitely not, it's all a personal opinion. It's nothing is set in stone in this, but quickly in the background is a 76 ice PvP. I just chose this one because my matches tend to be kind of long, and I know this is going to be a long subject or topic. Well, not that long, but enough to, yeah, you get me. Anyways, that didn't make any sense. But anyway, we're going to jump into the topic, which is, so I asked a question on Twitter. I did a poll, and you're going to see that on screen now. And as you can see, I said something like, I don't know, genuinely interested, what does everyone think that their favourite or the best age for PvP has been so far? And when you factor everything in, as you can see from the poll, a majority was saying that it was the second age. However, the first age was close behind, but second age was the ultimate leader and the winner of that. So it's quite, the first thing I saw there was how many little votes fourth age got. I got 7% of the votes, something like that, which is just abysmal. So clearly this current age is, well, as in people's eyes, is actually the worst age, and I can kind of agree with that. For me, it's between third and fourth age personally, and I will be going into personal in a bit, but I do understand the second age, why second age was the best. That was when Wizard101 was at his prime, because first age, a lot of people who play nowadays are probably too young to remember or even have PvP'd in first age. I barely PvP'd in first age, and I'm 19, so, and I would consider myself at the upper end of the age gap for age player range for Wizard101, even though it's of all ages. Most people who play this are in their teens, so I don't think a lot of people would have been around for first age, so wouldn't have actually experienced it, hence why second age was the most popular for them. So on a personal opinion, second age was my favourite age, and I'm going to give you guys a bit of reasoning as to why that is, because I'm not just going to go out and say that a blanket statement that second age is just the best age, but to me it really was. And definitely, before I start, leave your favourite age of PvP that's been so far in the comments, and let's get a discussion going, because I think it's an interesting topic, and maybe KingsIsle could take a couple hints or tips from the community, what was so good about second age that people loved that they could bring back, and why fourth age is just failing so badly with that terrible vote it had in the poll. And to be honest, in general, you can just see at most there's maybe 30 matches that's at the most. I think that's the most matches I've seen in at once going on is 30 matches, which is just, it's 60 people who are actually in a match, which is just crazy. So my first reason for second age being the best age is the fact that the community was way less toxic. Right, okay, so back in second age, you said you finished your match, you said GG, and that was it. You just went on with your life. Okay, look, that wasn't happening all the time, but majority of the time, especially from what I can remember, that is what happened. Nowadays, after every match, I get told to kill myself. You get racist abuse, you get people just completely losing it. No one, I barely see anyone saying GG anymore. I don't, nowadays no one knows how to take a loss. And that's it's just, I don't know what's happened from second age to fourth age, where everyone has just become so much saltier. Maybe it's growing up, or getting on with, I don't know, just getting fed up of the game perhaps. But back in second age, there was a lot more respect and just kindness in the arena, and that's it's just really disappeared, to be honest. There are only a couple people who I actually talk to, who actually do PvP, who are in the game, who I like talking to, because the rest of them are they just talk a lot of trash, or they're just not the nicest people, or they just create a toxic feel in the arena. And that's why a lot of people have also quit PvP. That's why you don't see as many in the queue, because the community is so toxic. Wizard101 is renowned for having a toxic community, mainly in the PvP section. That's where everything comes down to it. You just get people getting so angry and salty over losing matches, or and then you get the people on the sidelines trash talking. You've got talker accounts being made purely to trash talk, clans that coming together to who think that they're just amazing. There's a sense of arrogance, you know. If you have a higher rank, you're automatically better than someone, and it's just like, what the hell, dude? That is just so. It's just there's no other way to put it than it's just sad. Like it is really just sad. And you know that sucks, and I wish it was different. Like that's why Second Age, in my opinion, was a lot better already, because the community, and that really does make up a lot of what PvP is the community, and the community was just so much better. You had a lot more players playing. You know, like back in the day, I'd have rows of the friends list full with people who are online. Nowadays, I'm lucky if I get the first one full. Like I barely have anyone online, and I also don't see many people in the queue, or you know, actually doing matches. Like for example, today there was 0 people actually doing matches. Like there was no one in the world playing Wizard101 who was in a PvP match, and that's actually when I was recording this was like the only match that was on. Was me versus this dude. So you know, that's just absolutely crazy to me. And you know, community not being as toxic and having more players kind of ties in, but also you know, that Second Age, that period was kind of the golden era of Wizard101. And I don't think we are going to get back to it, unfortunately, because it's just, you know, people have either moved on, you know, people have grown up, and which is fair enough, but you know, those will always be remembered. First Age and Second Age will always be remembered as the golden age of Wizard101, back when people were a lot less toxic, and there was just a better feel around the game, and a better feel in the arena, and just much nicer people, I'd say. Maybe I'm just seeing the bad side of it, I'm not sure, but that's what I can tell anyway. So yeah. Second reason, guys, is that there were a variety of schools and strategies used. Alright, so I'm probably like, I'm being a massive hypocrite here, but that's just gonna have to be how it is. Nowadays, it's just so dominated by balance and ice. This is mainly max level, by the way. I don't really know much about Grandmaster, Magus, or Legendary, because I really only do Transcendent and Max level. And I can definitely confirm that in those areas, balance and ice have a huge dominance over pretty much every other school. It's pretty, I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's definitely much more like rarer than Second Age to see someone who's not balance or ice have, like, you know, a high rank at max, or you know, doing really well at max. You know, back in Second Age, ice wasn't even that good. You know, when Darkmoor dropped, it was Fire, Balance, and Life who were the tier 1 schools, really. And then, of course, you had the Jade Juju strat, which still worked back then at max. Nowadays, it's more like a level 80 thing, but you don't see that many maxes doing Jade Juju. But, you know, it was Balance, Fire, and Life, which were the best schools, because they could benefit the most from the Darkmoor gear and shadow spells. And the thing is, like, you know, you're obviously going to say Weaver for ice, but, you know, most ices couldn't get more than 10 pierce. I myself was rocking 3 pierce back in the day, so, and ice was really struggling as a school, but it also created variety, because you know, life was good, balance was good, fire was good, and then I'd probably have death up there as well with the Jade Juju strategy. Storm, again, it's always been a low tier school, but then you had death and myth kind of sitting with ice. But you know, the thing is, you could still win if you're a good player. You could still win because, and this is tying into another reason, there were no ward pets, guys. Ward pets, look, I was actually really slow to catch on to them because I didn't like them. I still don't, but I will use them because, you know, if you can't beat them, join them, as they say. And you know, they are just so widely used now. It's almost it's like impossible to do well at max level without a ward pet. And you just see ward pets at any level, really, to be honest, guys. That's not just a max level thing. Every level you see ward pets. And so ward pets, they reduce the variety of schools, because everyone knows, you know, if you have an ice with a ward pet and 8,000 health, it's just so overpowered now, and it's just amazing. But you know, back in the day, you know, you could beat other schools If you were a myth, or there were high rank myths, there were high rank ices, there were high rank deaths. There was just so much variety, and at the high ranks of all the levels and stuff, that it just made for such a good environment. Even if you had a really high rank, you could get a match quite quickly. I remember that my balance was a very high rank second age, and I could get a match pretty damn quick. And nowadays, I'm not sure if it's because they have reset the ranks so much or something, but you actually you don't see that many people with over 2k really. It's quite rare, but that's also because there is a massive reduce in the number of players, so obviously there's going to be a reduce in that as well, so that kind of coincides together. But that's another reason. So that was kind of two reasons turned into one, which was the variety of schools and that were in second age and strats used, and the fact that there were no ward pets, which allowed for that variety in pets strategies, because not everyone had a ward pet. People had different pets: healing pets, damage pets, critical pets, mix of damage, mix of this, mix of that, and it was just, you could actually use so many different things, which is what made that age so good for me. Finally, I think the 4-pip shadow spells are retarded. They should not be in PvP, and obviously that wasn't around in second age, so that just automatically is a win for second age there. They are terrible. You should not be dealing that much damage with 4 pips. Honestly, shadow spells altogether shouldn't be in PvP. They should have a lot of reduction, because they just deal too much damage, and it creates such a broken atmosphere. When you can do like 4,000 damage with 4 pips, you're never safe, really, and it's just crazy. That mainly applies to max level, by the way. So and that mostly max level is what I've been doing, so that's the perspective I have on it. And then my final reason is that critical and critical block was nowhere near as broken. If you had 300 block in second age, you were blocking most hits. My balance had 250 block, and I still managed to get into 2,800 rank. Like, block was not broken. You blocked most of the time, which is what you want. Like, even with critical at 1.25% or whatever it is, you never block. As soon as they implemented that stupid system where crit and block were just broken, and I think it was third age that came with, second age crit and block were fine. Obviously people will prefer if there's no crit and everything like that, but that's a whole different debate. But in terms of how the critical and the critical block worked in second age, it worked well. If we could go back to that, people would be happy, because obviously it's just it worked with the time. Perhaps it wouldn't actually work that well now, you never know, but I think it's worth a try. So that was those are my main reasons. I'm going to quickly run over them again. So the community wasn't as toxic. There were more players, so you could actually get matches quicker, and that's always good. You don't have to wait as long in the queue. There are more matches to watch. There's more people taking part. The critical and critical block system wasn't as broken, and then obviously shadow spells, like the 4-pip shadow spells. I mean, you had Weaver and all that. Darkmoor came into effect in the second age, but let's not forget that there was also pre-Darkmoor in the second age. And that's when Darkmoor came in, was the second age, but it still didn't break the game as much as it is now. And then obviously the variety of schools that we used. Nowadays it's balance and ice. Obviously you get the exception guys, but come on, if you really think about it, it is mainly balance and ice. So that's that really. But those are my reasons that second age was the best. Obviously I actually didn't really argue for first stage, but that's because in my opinion it wasn't, mainly because of the ranking system. Because if you guys remember, what happened with first stage was, if you were a high rank facing a higher level and you lost, you would lose like 24 rank, and if you won, you'd pretty much gain 0 rank, 1 rank, 2 rank. So it wasn't like 16 rank for a win, 16 ranks for a loss. The disparity between losing and winning sometimes in first stage was quite broken. But honestly, first age pretty much flawless as well. Apart from that, the ranking system, which kind of lets it down, and for that reason, like, second age was a bit better for me, guys. This is all personal opinion. And bearing that in mind, I really, definitely let me know what your guys' favourite age was. So I think, well, from what I can tell from the poll, it was second age, closely followed by first age, and then third and fourth age have just pretty much been a disaster compared to them. But definitely let me know in the comments your favourite age, why it is. Maybe you disagree with me, maybe you don't. But it would be interesting to see and get different opinions about what everyone's favourite age was, and why, because then maybe Kings will be able to implement something that they had back then, which they have now changed, i.e. the critical system. Please fix it. But anyway, guys, that's it, being the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.